So I just watched a video by Piro314. He was talking about God and one of his relatives who's born again, and he's trying to attribute um, this experience of conversion in his family member to an inability to deal with the past, an inability to confront emotions or feelings of guilt or anxiety that are sort of pent up from the past. And then instead one can just give themselves over in this intense inner movement, this gesture of faith, which gives one over to an outside Savior, which absolves you of all sin and heals all wounds by fiat automatically. All you have to do is believe. That doesn't seem very healthy, certainly, and yet there still seems to be some meaning that we could attribute to this conversion experience, or maybe we could use the Greek metanoia, a going beyond the wounded egoic self that basically we are we find ourselves having to cope with while incarnated. But there's this knowledge also of an infinite self, of a higher self, and metanoia is the going beyond our ego self to this higher self. And I think we do have to, with discernment at least, acknowledge that as a possibility for us. There are instances where someone falsely attributes this to themselves, or that's why we have to be discerning, but I don't think we can just deny that it's possible. The very fact that you're making a video about it, Piro, that you're talking about God, even to say that, we should deal with ourselves and act out of our own self-understanding. We should think for ourselves. I think that that's a healthier way of relating to this idea, the idea, you could say, of God or Spirit, the absolute, the ultimate, the totality, the whole, whatever you want to call it. We talk about it, we think about it, we relate to it. Even if we deny its existence, we establish our own existence in relation to the denial of whatever we think the God thing means. So we're inextricably bound up with it. We're always dealing with it. It's a concept that we cannot think without, whether atheist or whatever other kind of ist. I want to read a paragraph from Hegel's encyclopedia. The knowledge of mind or spirit is the highest and the hardest, just because it is the most concrete of sciences. The significance of that absolute commandment, know thyself, whether we look at it in itself or under the historical circumstances of its first utterance, is not to promote mere self-knowledge in respect of the particular capacities, character, propensities, and foibles of the single self. The knowledge it commands means that of man's genuine reality, of what is essentially and ultimately true and real, of spirit or mind as the true and essential being. The treatment of spirit is only truly philosophical when it cognizes the notion of spirit in its living development and actualization, which simply means when it comprehends spirit as a type of the absolute idea. But it belongs to the nature of mind to cognize its notion, mind or spirit. Consequently, the summons to the Greeks of the Delphic Apollo, know thyself, does not have the meaning of a law externally imposed on the human mind by an alien power. On the contrary, the God who impels to self-knowledge is none other than the absolute law of mind itself. Mind is, therefore, in in its every act only apprehending itself. And the aim of all genuine sciences is just this, that mind shall recognize itself in everything in heaven and on earth. So, I don't know, I thought that was cute.